Hello out there. Thanks again. I am Okiria Agbonsu Remy in the saddle for Public Conscience this day, and we are happy that you are there. It's a production of the Progressive Impact Organization for Community Development, and we are supported by the Mercator Foundation. We took our campaign against the extraction of money to register bets to a town hall meeting in Owerri, the Imo State capital, over the weekend. The turnout was simply great. And Chukwudi Okele Ubaja is right here with me.
Always good to be here. Yes, great and quite reassuring since it clearly spread the message against illegal charges for registration of births that little further. While our partners in Owerri are engaging in further enlightenment programs, we in Abuja, working with our partners, are planning specific outreaches to hospitals to tell everyone that birth registration, including the accompanying certificate, is free.
We're talking about free birth certificates. We tell you, I repeat it all over again, that wherever you get to the registration center in hospital, you just give birth to a child, or between the age day 1 to 17 years, you can walk into any of the NPC offices and get, NPC is the National Population Commission, get your birth certificate for your child free of charge. Don't pay any money. You don't have to pay any money. That is the message that we are taking across. And we will certainly let you know when we will be visiting the hospitals with our enlightenment programs. And on the program today, we are talking to an integrity icon. Please recall that as we amplify issues that border on corruption as investigated by our partners, we also handle cases of Nigerian men and women, and I can tell you there are very many, who by their actions and inactions demonstrate that society still harbors those fine detailed in character. They resist corruption, and they also, by their own attitude, promote the integrity in their work environment. But that is not just all today. We're also having to talk about the next phase. It's already rolling anyway. Our partners, the Accountability Lab, is already fishing for this year's winner of the Integrity Icon. We'll also be talking about that, and we'll have a guest from Accountability Lab who will be telling us all it takes to win that coveted crown, to be identified as an integrity icon in Nigeria. So in this edition, what do we do, Chukwudi?
We are actually hosting a lady of sterling qualities who believes that integrity is a personal decision that every citizen has to make for themselves, regardless of surrounding influences. Remember that this program is interactive, and we will tell you shortly which phone numbers to call. You can drop a message, though, on our WhatsApp number. That's 0902-265-6167. That is 0902-265-6167.
Our guest on the program today is Mrs. Bukola Adewunmi. Is an investigative journalist. And I think when we first took this decision, Chukwudi was very, very proud that a journalist is in the club of those who can be identified as a winner and those who have integrity around. I was very, very proud as well. Of course, why would I be proud when it is said that in the journalism profession, we also have a lot of brown envelopes. We also have a lot of people working with those who are corrupt. But you can still find amongst us a woman, a lady who is working and she's promoting integrity. Mrs. Bukola Adewunmi is an investigative journalist with the News Agency of Nigeria. She believes in standing for the truth by supporting the news accurately and truthfully. In the past, she and her family members have endured incarceration due to her refusal to compromise in her duties of unbiased reporting. And we'll be coming to her just shortly. But let's dive into the search for those who will win the coveted crown of going into the club of those integrity icon Nigeria. And Prince Chimaroke Chukwuka is from the Accountability Lab. Indeed, he's the communications officer. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, how far have we gone? How do you search for those who get this crown?
Okay. The integrity icon process is one that has about 6 phases. We start by the nominations, where we ask that people from far and wide, nationwide, begin to send us nominations. This they can do via hard copy forms, which we have our volunteers scattered around the states. Go to public parastatals and begin to ask for people of integrity or people whose stories of integrity have impacted society positively.
So for this year, how many nominations did you get?
We have 400. We had 407.
407
nominations
across Nigeria.
Across Nigeria.
Mind you are only looking at public sector.
Yes.
You are not looking at the private sector.
Yes.
Just public sector. So you are looking at government offices.
Government offices.
So to tell us, you have narrowed down how many? You said 6 stages.
Yes.
So which stage are you now?
So we are already at the fulfillment stage, and I'm sure we should be wrapping that up this week. We had this film fellows who work with us who had traveled to Akwa Ibom,
locating the locations
exactly
where your winners.
We even had one at Andoni where they had to go for drive on water over 45 minutes just to get to Andoni at the River State West, where they covered one of the integrity icons, and it's just been pretty amazing how how do you narrow down?
How do you narrow down? If you have 407 and you are looking at 510.
Yes. So
at the end of the day, you are looking at like 5 in the club.
Exactly.
Of those who will win, who will be the winners.
So the first phase of selection we do is to have the in-house team look at the entire nomination that we receive, and then we begin to pick out valid and invalid nominations. When we say invalid nomination, we're looking at those who possibly would have just nominated some
their
political,
father,
their mother, exactly, those who really just
like
want
a governor
who paid my school fees, So we remove those ones
Nepotistic nominations.
As soon as we're done removing that, we now begin to look through this.
No, how much of that was that the percentage of those invalid? You say, look, because somebody pays your school fees doesn't qualify him to the how many? What is the percentage?
I think we had just about 15%, about 15% of those kinds.
Weed off
just about that. And then we begin to now look at their stories. So what has this person done? What's contributions?
You do investigation?
Yes. We put out calls. We go as far as visiting their office, calling relatives, some community leaders who we could have their contact, and then begin to question to be sure that the stories that we have are valid stories. Then we now narrow down to the top 100 and then vet again. We now narrow down to the top 30. As soon as we have the top 30, we now employ independent judges from different sectors of
I was privileged to be one of your judges this year.
Okay.
From different sectors of the economy.
It was not an easy one, I tell you. You have 30, and you have to, in fact, we have to take the documents home, read them very well, look at the stories before you can narrow and say, look, give them marks. Mm-hmm. And from all of us, about 9-10 of us who came down, we do all the marking, and then we come back and do addition and multiplication.
Yes. Because you must
we must
credibility
in
the process.
Exactly.
If you get accused of making it an elitist arrangement, that somebody from Ikare Ekiti, doesn't win it because it's a rural person.
Maybe it's a local government office that you didn't get there.
How would you react to being elitist about it? You're in the metropolis, kind of.
Well, we're very committed to go far and wide wherever this person is. Just like I made the case of the lady in Andoni.
Okay.
In fact, when we met the community chiefs, they were surprised that we would go all the way to that small,
penetrate.
Yes, that small community to find that one person, and they were very happy to have us. So we would not consider if it's a rural setting. We are searching for these icons anywhere they are.
Have you narrowed down now for this year? After the
judges looked at the top 30 and picked their 5 based on the score, we were able to pick the top 5.
Wonderful.
But although there's something we introduced this year as a way of promoting gender representation.
You want to be sure that you have a sheet for male and female, so that you have.
So we did a 60-40 ratio to ensure we had at least 3 women and 2 men. So we did well to score them separately.
I want to say that I hope I will not be revealing that at least one of the women on this year's icon was there on her merit. She didn't come in on the platform of let us give a room for.
Okay.
In fact, she was tall. I don't know. So we should not reduce that. We are looking for just women. We leave women behind. Leave men. Go to men and leave women behind.
Yes.
The woman was okay by all standard.
Wonderful validation.
Yes.
Exactly.
So let's come to the woman. When did Adewunmi, Mrs. Adewunmi, when did she pass through these and then scored and came to the top that we are in that video? Which year was this?
That was the last edition before this one. Yes,
that's
2018. 2018, yes.
So, Mrs. Bukola Adewunmi, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
We are glad to have you. And we are very excited that you're also one of the pen pushers. We are excited. I believe journalists will also be excited that, look, you are representing us fine.
We've always been up there. We're played down. They say it's only brown envelope we take. So help us God.
Now, tell us, what is the driving force for your strict pursuit of truth in your work as a journalist?
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers. I'm so happy to be here. The truth is that, the society in which we live in does not recognize the truth. They play down on the truth, on morality. And then the truth is this: it is an individual thing. You must want to do it consciously, and you have to do it on your own. Nobody teaches you out there. Nobody sits you down in a class and say, no, you have to be this person. It is something you make a deliberate effort in doing.
It is your decision.
Yes, sir.
Just to be upright is a decision you have to make.
Yes.
Wow.
There's no formal class for teaching integrity.
And I guess
Wow.
I guess you listening out there, you want to drop a line. Just before we open the phone, we have a line you can reach us if you cannot call. Or if you think calling might be difficult for you, just drop us a line. I will drop us a message on our WhatsApp platform, and that is 09022656167. That is 09022656167. Chukudi, we need to ask her more questions.
We need to. In your work as a journalist, I've been on that turf, and I know it is not an easy one. Have you had instances where you had to summon something noble, richly, remembering of how mom and dad brought you up to resist the brown envelope?
The work we do the people depend on us for the truth. And if we cannot do it, then what message are we sending to Nigerians? We are the eye correctors. We are there to give them the right standing and the right path. So sometimes when some of this thing comes up in the line of duty, it's not easy. The truth is not easy.
It does come up.
Yes, it does. I remember the first time.
But I'm not going to go beyond that. This is your show. It's not my show.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went out for a walk, and at the end of the day,
An assignment.
Yes, assignment, and they called me like, take.
Was the envelope brown?
Yes.
Do I have an impression? Do I get the impression you know about the envelope?
Because I didn't know anything about that. I actually turned it down immediately. Like, no, thank you very much. I'm just here.
And you walked away?
And a lot of people like, why didn't you collect it? Bring it to us. And
Who is human auditing?
No, this is not a bribe. They said this is not a bribe.
Yes.
This is just to say thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and maybe transportation, But the first time, it sounds somehow to me like, okay, am I selling my conscience? What if I don't report what I need to report? Because sometimes when you take some of these envelopes, it tones down the message you're supposed to send out. Yeah. Because you now want to favor, you want to do something that will please the person that is giving you that brown envelope. And then sometimes you downtone the message you're supposed to send out to the general.
Now then, let's look at let us look at the other side of it. You are also pursuing a report, and the report probably will bring out the truth. Almost all good reports are injurious to somebody. Have you done any report this way, and you are asked, please, can you leave this story? And if you don't leave it, you get threats, and you ask yourself, do I leave this report? And they are ready to give you something. Do I go ahead with it?
Yeah, that happened some years ago. I was with one of my friend, my colleague, and my brother, and he brought in the story that we need to do.
Yes.
So we contacted the office and told them we're working on this. And thank God we spoke to somebody in the office and they gave the go-ahead. Unfortunately, we went to make a call behind Ritz Continental Hotel to just call the person and, okay, this is what we're writing. We just want to get
your side of the story
because we can't just push one side story. And we were still making the call using my phone. I drove there with my car, my kids, 2 kids were there. And before you know what, 3 men surrounded us. I couldn't run. One of my friends left, and the other one stood, and I was there with my kids and my car. So they said, no, we have to go, and then they summoned us, they took us away. And when we were going, I was like, what is the issue?
Who were those that took you? Did you get the identity?
Yes, it's from the SARS office.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. The special anti-robbery squad.
Yes. And what is the
Meanwhile,
problem?
you were not armed? You were not in a robbery situation?
No.
Okay.
Just making a phone call. And they said they got a report from the office that we are calling someone and that is it. I said, but that's not a problem. We're doing our work and we can use our phones to call at any time. And the same person we've been sending messages to, he's not replying. And before you know what, they just took us in, took my kids in, took me to a separate place, took my kids to a separate place, and they said I should just wait. So I put a call to the office and called, and before you know what, they came around for me. And that was it. But they said, drop that story.
Did you drop the story?
Yeah, we did.
Because the management asked you to drop the story.
Drop that story.
Well, that's another angle to it, because you were willing to do your work. You were ready to even use your own phone to do your work, and because of pressure from your story source, maybe the management was also under pressure, and you had to drop that story. You felt particularly bad anyway.
Yes.
Well, we have the privilege of allowing you to be part of the program. Chukwudi, I think we should open the call.
It's time to open the calls.
Open the phone calls
open the line so that
for you to ask the question. You want to also be an icon. You want to know what to do to be an icon. Please, this is not the place to do nomination. I'm not doing nomination. And for those who are sending me messages, don't worry. That will be, we'll soon take your messages. And if you have not sent in your messages, it's 090-2265-6167. That is 090-2265-6167. That is just for WhatsApp only. I hope I'm not too fast with that. And once the calls come, we allow you to ask your question, make your contribution. Nigerians are not all corrupt. That is the message. You can hear one of the icons here telling us it is difficult, but it is doable.
All 3 lines beep in there. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Yeah, my name is Abdul, calling from Maitama. The guest in the studio, the lady, I think she's fair a lot to able to say the fact on the respect of her own work. It's a very difficult to say the truth and the fact when you are in the field of doing your assignment. You can face so many challenges, more especially the this media criticism in the respect of anything that is happening in the country. My comment to her is to keep doing what she's doing and do it very well. That is my own tip. Thank you very much.
Are you a news hound? Are you a reporter?
I'm not a reporter.
Wow.
Actually, I've always been listening to the news internationally and locally.
Thank you so much.
You confront her and ask her some question, and she has a capability of letting you know the truth of what is in the field of journalism.
Thank you so much.
Me, and that is the reason why I say let me comment on the respect of the way she's been faced. Thank you very much.
Have a nice day.
Thank you. I will have more callers calling in. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, your voice is not loud enough. Can you please raise your voice a little, please?
Good morning, Mr.
Thank you. We can hear you a little now. If you can still make it louder, that would be...
My name is Okilama.
Okay, Osilama, our regular guest. Thank you. You were one of our guests last time. Go ahead, please.
Very well. I want to talk about corruption, basically, or about staff. Can you talk about staff?
No, we're not talking about SARS. We are talking about an integrity, a woman who is working very, very hard, and in the face of the possibility of corruption, she's raising her head above and telling every Nigerian that it is possible not to be corrupt.
Mr. Algeria.
Yes, please.
I think it's difficult. It's part of God. It's very difficult. Because as it is right now, we really cannot get it. I tell you this, if you go to a government cycle, for instance, where you go to, as you say, where you go to look for jobs and all that, you got to play cards with them.
Yes.
You got to play cards.
Yes, but Mr. Silama, there are those who are not paying. They are not giving anybody anything. They are riding on the crest of integrity, and they are getting these jobs, and they are also still doing it. That everybody is doing it, or many people are doing it, does not make it impossible.
I will not say, yeah, I agree with you, but it's not to 1%.
When did you carry out the survey? He has his integrity lab there.
Well, Mrs. Bukola Adewunmi is showing everybody that even if all the journalists in the world are corrupt and they are collecting brown envelopes and they are not doing their report the way they want to do it, she's telling us, I've done it over the years and I'm enjoying it. That is the beauty of it. Let's go to another call. Thank you, Mr. Silama. Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Mommy. I'm calling you close to Buhari.
Mommy again. How are you today?
Speaking your topic of last week in Close to Fab, we keep talking about it, about best certificate, and this one is outstanding.
Thank you.
I agree with you in total that it's not everybody in Nigeria that is corrupt. We have some people that are outstanding. As I always say, that charity begins at home. If you go to our local market, some places, you see somebody that is selling just tomatoes, and the person is honest. They will tell you this one is a GMO, this one they use fertilizer, this one is just natural organic tomato. Wow. So we should just know that it's not everybody that is corrupt, and we should replicate it in our home. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Hello.
She's leading accountability lab to Karshi Market.
Yeah. Well, that's to tell you that the term corruption is not just the public. We also have, we also have people who are at the very, very lower rung.
That's the point I was making about the hinterland.
Yeah, they also live in how did our fathers live fine in the villages and in the communities, and they lived fine amongst themselves? Mm-hmm. They were not corrupt.
They were not corrupt. Yeah, remember, some of them would tell somebody who came to woo their daughter,
yes.
Maybe he came in a Volkswagen, ex-Lagos then, and the man in his loincloth will tell him, no, we don't give wives to people like you. Your family is a family of thieves. Mm-hmm. It's happened.
So, we have more calls. Let's take more calls before we go to our WhatsApp platform. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Caroline. Good morning.
Caroline, so good to hear you.
Yes. Yeah, you are asking a question where it's still possible for people to work without
yes,
receiving bribe or something, right?
We have a guest in the studio who has lived fine. Yeah, and we are looking at your own comment. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, it's 100% correct. Yeah. So, but the problem is that most times they will even call you names, like you're a Jew guy or whatever, that you don't know what is happening. But just you are serving God who will reward you. If people say if food inside the spoon is not enough for you, not the one that fell on the ground or the one at the back is enough. Even those ones inside that your food, the salary is not enough, not the one that you are collecting at the back that will ever be okay for you. Let me ask this question. Why is the Nigerian system of recent, currently, that they will announce there is a job opportunity somewhere? When you go there, you find out that they will actually that they have some to employ some people. They should pay 500,000, 1.15 million, 700, and so on. That is what is happening now. So why is it like that? That people must pay before they will be employed or be given a job. You will go after the interview because you didn't give money. They will not employ even when you are the one that merited or passed the interview or something like that. Sometimes you not even hear they're employing. They are selling it. They are busy selling it. So what is happening? You people should talk about you people that are journalists or those of you on radio and TV. What is happening? Go and research. You find out that is
all right. We'll take that leg.
You got the name?
Yes, Caroline. What we have today is we are celebrating an icon amongst so many events, like you also rightly said. That there are a lot of corruption in the job market, particularly the public service, where it is up for sale. I can tell you there are agencies in Nigeria. I can tell you categorically that there are agencies in Nigeria that recruit on merit. There are still agencies that are growing. On merit. And we should not hype the 99% that are collecting money and then we bury the 1% that is not. We should also tell Nigerians it's possible. That is why we have Mrs. Adewunmi with us today, a journalist, an investigative journalist. She passed through the Integrity Lab screening. Let's take more calls if we have calls coming on. Hello.
Hello, Kira. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
My name is Hope.
Hope. Thank you.
Yes. Kira, I want to celebrate that woman. I believe when she started it as a youth, especially these days that we have been tagged youth as the lazy people. They cannot make cabinet. They cannot be in the government. I really celebrate her. But there is something else I want to talk about. You see, if you don't collect bribes, if you don't collect cash, there is another thing that you can, if you cut
Yes, if you cut. We are hearing if you cut corners.
And do something out of collecting cash. I think that too is a trend in integrity, not only to collect money.
All right.
I think we should look
and I right away before I get to the next call, I will ask our guest, cutting corners. Have you been tempted to cut any corner to get something for yourself in the course of your work?
The contractor.
Has there been temptations along the line of duty to cut corners?
No. I don't think I have that at all. I've not.
You have not been exposed to that kind of environment to cut corners. Now, which one is actually very, very difficult? Has been very, very difficult for you? Apart from people giving you money, say covering it in the name of PRO and just say it's transport. Apart from that, which one is actually more difficult for a journalist to go through in the course of reporting and standing up?
Sometimes you have people, after covering the event, they tell you, okay, we don't want you to put this out. This is what you want you to put right out. You know, sometimes they just tell you, maybe when they notice maybe what they said could land them into trouble.
Yes.
And then they'll just tell you, no, please don't write this way. Write this other way. And they want to teach you your job.
Yeah.
They want to
turn into a PRO.
They want to turn into
a journalist.
Yes. Sometimes I say no to that. And then when they say, okay, what will cost us to put this in? No, my office, no, it's free. So I will write what I think will go out.
And the editor to make the decision.
Yes, and then leave the editor.
Okay, we can take more calls, and we have the lines open. Hello.
Yes, that's one.
Fine, your name is?
My name is Emmanuel Ocharimpu, the Freedom Winner.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, I thank God for this opportunity. Want to get into listening to you in particular. It's a great opportunity, and I thank God for everybody that have supported this program.
Thank you.
Having said that, corruption and integrity in Nigeria are those who refuse to be compromised in this society are spread across different fields of human endeavors. We have people, drivers, taxi drivers that have shown their integrity by refusing to be corrupt. You know, submitting, returning the money, some of these forgotten items inside their vehicle. We have people who rise up against the anti-people policy. We have pastors and imams that have shown themselves in the area of integrity. Those who decided to speak and put their life on the line. We have those who have done so many things. I advise as the program proceeds in the nearest days and future, we'll begin to introduce those people. We begin to introduce those people so that we will encourage more Nigerians. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I can assure you that we are doing that. I think recently there was a report of an Air Force officer who saw huge sum of money in euro. I mean, big. And he returned it. We are fishing for him. We are going to go to the Air Force to find out what motivated this guy, young man who needed, Nigerians will say he needs the money, but he chose to take the money and return it to the owner. We are going to be fishing, working with the Air Force to get this person so that you can also hear. So we are also actually going around. It's not just in the public sector like accountability lab. Public conscience, our own idea is to make sure that while we are talking about those who are doing corruption, we also talk about those who are resisting it. And that is why we have Mrs. Adewunmi with us. We still can take some calls before we come to the WhatsApp platform. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mrs. Adewunmi. My name is Adewunmi Daniel.
Oh, Adewunmi.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Just like what the last caller said, I'm proud of myself. I'm a taxi driver. I've seen a lot of goods that belonging to passengers, like phones. I reported it to the owner. The owner gave me 1,000. I'm so happy with that because if I see this phone, what of if the owner see me tomorrow? Thank God, I'm one of them. If we are talking about taxi driver, we have bad heads among of us. In the police, I know of one policeman. Out of all Nigerian police, I can fight for him. He's not corrupt. He used to have, if his colleagues arrest him, he will beg on your behalf. His name is Mr. Ilya. He's from Nazareth State. Because remember in 2013, I went to customs. Somebody arrested me. I want to get job here. The man, I used to see him up to today, but he did not know me again. But you know me, I know him. He demanded for 300,000 from me. I'm talking of 2013 in some area. I used to see him today. Anytime I pass the side, I see myself inside car. I'm driving taxi. I'll be happy just like what you said the other day with Soria on the other station. I'm happy that I'm a taxi driver. But look at that perspective. If they ask him, is it good to corrupt? He will tell you they know. Many of people who are in government today that they corrupt. If you ask them, do you love Nigeria? They will say yes. How much you love Nigeria? They will say, I love Nigeria. Is it good to corrupt? They will say no, but you find out. 20 of them, they have looked Nigerian money. So if the woman says we can do it, it is true, we can do it, but many of the people who corrupt in Nigeria, they are doing deliberately. You understand that?
Yeah.
Deliberately, it's not by God for you to be a corrupt person.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adewunmi. That's quite fine. And when the accountability lab zeroes in into the private sector, then we can begin to harvest from you. You can tell us those you have seen around, and then we believe that will be also good to. We have already made the suggestions to them that they should move from the public sector to the private sector so that they can also reward taxi drivers like you who are honest, who believe in happiness generated from inside of you and not the monies that we will get in the course of time. Now, let's go to Adewunmi Obeabumo. I believe if you have to quickly send in the message 090-2265-6167. That is 090-2265-6167. Adewunmi Obeabumo, please lead us. Who has sent us a message?
We have one from Mr. Hamzi, and he says, not all Nigerians are corrupt. Nigeria is a country blessed with extraordinary people with fantastic behaviors and integrity. It's just that a few bad ones are giving the whole country a bad name. We also have another one from Becky, and she says, this is good. You can see that there's no difference between a woman's bravery and a man's bravery. They all bring glory, respect, and joy to the individual and country. They should all be treated the same.
And from Destiny Anthony, please, I want you people to put your searchlight on the National Open University. How come students don't collect complete materials after paying their fees? You give them a few days to come back and to buy the same books. Are there and there are books in the store, and they ask them to come back continuously. We will, Anthony, Destiny, we try to find out how much. The field is very wide. We can't run everywhere. We have more opportunity for phone calls. If we have got you calling in, we can quickly accommodate your calls, getting ready to wrap up. But Adewunmi says she has just one more.
We have one more message from Baba Yemisi, and he says, not all Nigerians are corrupt. A typical example is the lady with you in the studio. Same goes to the Air Force officer who returned whooping 34,000 euros.
All right, let's take more calls now. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Your name?
Yeah, my name is Wisdom Asemi. I'm calling you from Zone 6.
Go ahead, Wisdom.
Okay. As me too, I'm a taxi driver, but in a more not like the local cab. I do this app people.
Uber.
More, yeah, Uber and 35 actually.
You sound it.
So the thing is, when people forget something in your car, when you return it, they'll just tell you, thank you, God bless you. Then they just go. I was one day somebody forgot a laptop in my car. I stay in Lube. The girl called me and begged me I should come to NY. I drove there. After I parked, she said that the first thing she asked me was that was this all I forget in your car? I say this is all I find in my car.
That's appreciation is low. That's what you are saying.
Yeah. But if I maybe if I find that laptop to the market, I would get like 20 to 25K.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Wisdom.
She didn't even have my number. I was the one I even called her. So she can't even trace me. I was the one who even called her.
Wisdom, thank you.
Thank you,
Just
Wisdom.
remember that virtue rewards itself.
Sure. Yeah, I think I want to emphasize that maybe I should allow my guests to react to that because I say what I have to say about it. Okay. Now, you have somebody who has done something good, forgot something in the car, and the person is coming expecting a reward from you. How do we draw the line?
I don't think it's something you should always look for a reward for. If it's you, if it is your personality, you don't care whether they give you anything or not. You just go on with it because that's the right thing and you believe in the right thing. So for some people, they'll say they want to do something good, and then because you think somebody should favor you or reward you for it, you don't want to do it. You're actually doing yourself, because that's the truth. You're just doing yourself.
So the taxi driver should not expect any thank you beyond the mouth thank you.
Yes.
You should not expect anybody to pay. Just give. And even if they give you can tell them, please, I'm sorry, I've just done my job. I'm going, and you'll be happier.
Yes.
Rather than bringing the thing back to you, expecting that you offer some money.
Yes, because now he's pained.
Yes, because he's pained.
And then he's
like
doing
he has the choice. If I knew, I would not have.
I wouldn't have taken them. I would have taken it to Wuse and sell.
That's not fair on the Ohiri Abonto Remis of this world because they helped the man pumped his Maurice Minor's car way back in the 70s, and when he was offered 1 penny, he said, "No, we don't take it." He went to Sunday school.
Now I have also had the experience of paying somebody who returned my phone, and it was not good in my mind that I paid. But he negotiated that if I don't give him money, he will not bring it. And because of what I had inside the phone, I had to ask him to bring it. And I said, somebody who has integrity, I have to honor my own promise to pay the money. I gave him and he left. So some person who said I should not have given him, let him just go. I said, no, I asked him to bring it.
That's discretionary.
That is discretionary. Yes. But that is it. Today, after that, he kept calling me, I don't have a job. I said, you've gotten a job. I've paid for what you have done. And I don't negotiate with somebody who doesn't have integrity. And that is how it pays. I guess we can take 1 or 2 more calls. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Honestly, your conversation is very interesting. You know, and I heard the last guy who just called, and it's a bit bitter that he wasn't rewarded. All right, for me, that doesn't sound good to me. All right, you know, because in the first place, the property is not yours. If you're caught with the property, or if you're caught that property doesn't belong to you and that you should return it, and if you refuse to return it, you're a thief, you're a criminal. All right, you know, so the best thing to do beyond protecting your integrity and having a vicious life the right thing to do is quietly return the property because it is not yours. Whatever is not yours, that is in your possession, if you're caught, you're a criminal. And of course, you will be treated as such. So for me, everybody should just do the right thing. It's very simple. It won't take anything away from you. Rather, it will add.
Now, can we have your name?
You a vicious person.
Can we have your name, please?
All right, my name is Chika Nyimba.
Chika Nyimba, thank you so much. And we have,
very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. We have opportunities for you to call in.
Can you send us a message to our WhatsApp line after the program?
Please send us a message. I think it's off already. 09022656167. Drop a message for us. And let's take the next call. Hello. You are what?
Destiny.
Okay, Destiny Anthony. You sent a message earlier.
Yes. So I celebrate the woman in the studio. And I also want to let our people know. I know that things are bad in Nigeria, but there are still few good eggs. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you should not expect the reward when you do, something. I mean, you've done good. But if somebody says, oh, for returning so amount, or I take this to show appreciation. I won't mention the name of the person. He's a journalist. In fact, it's Premium Times, but I won't mention the name. And he bought something from me. And transfer to journalist transfer, I'll just call him up. But he overpaid that day. I called his name because they were in a meeting. You remember when they detained one of the journalists?
Yes.
So they were in a meeting. He didn't pick my call. If I know the office, I put the extra money in the envelope, drove to the place, met the secretary, he's like, okay, so yeah, so hand the envelope to him, you can reach me this by then. And before I just had the back, and I thought, when I came to that, what happened? I didn't know you overpaid, you sent to and do that. Yes, from there, he said, no, just for your fuel. Thank you so much. And he was happy, he even called my friend who introduced me to him.
And at the end of the day, Anthony, you are a happier person.
No, I'm more far better. But how would I see that? Maybe let me just say you. So here you are paying with 60K, and out of excitement, I don't have. I thought the money. And maybe the money again. How do I pay you?
All right. Thank you very much, Anthony. We have to wrap up now. But before we wrap up, we always wrap up with our guests. Let's begin from Prince Chimaroke Chukwuka, the Communications Officer for Integrity Lab. You have enjoyed this discussion.
Very amazing.
Are you going to fish for private people? You are fishing for government people now. How soon will Integrity Lab begin to look at taxi drivers, get nominations from among the public? Very, very honest people who are not working in government.
Well, I would not know how to respond to that directly because it's more senior management kind of decision. But what I would say we are considering right now is sending out letters of recognition to people like Umar, the naval officer
that returned the money,
and other people who we hear their stories, and to just so they can know that they are not alone. Because the way Nigerians vilify that officer, it felt like he did the wrong thing returning that money. If you saw the comment on Twitter, they were abusing him.
He was foolish.
So I could imagine what he could have been feeling, thinking he's in a world alone.
But I'm happy that the government, the president, got a presidential medal, he got promotion, global
vilifying it.
And
it's not poverty of the pocket or of the mind.
Yes. Now let us go to our guests, Mrs. Adewunmi. You are wrapping up with us now. What are you taking away as somebody who has gotten this level of recognition from the accountability? How has it been being an icon?
It's been wonderful, and it's been more work. It's been more work because it has made me to now see that this thing, you have to do it.
Wonderful.
You have to do it no matter what.
You got more energized.
Yes.
All right. And we are wrapping it up now. Time to go. Chukwudi Okole Ogbaja. It's been a very wonderful episode. The accountability and the integrity episode of public conscience. It's always a pleasure to have people talk about integrity. We are all not corrupt, as I always say.
Oh, yes. And virtue rewards itself.
Yes.
We want more Mrs. Adewunmis in the world. Thank you, Accountability Lab.
Thank you so much for having us.
And thank you so much out there for being part of the program. And we have appreciated our guests here. Prince Tony, Prince Chimaroke Chukwuka, Communications Officer for Accountability Lab, and we have also had Mrs. Bukola Adewunmi, an integrity icon and an investigative journalist with the News Agency of Nigeria. Thank you so much, the two of you, for joining us on the program.
Thank you so much for having us.
And let's do it again next week when we come back at same station, and we would bring in some other aspects of the reports that we are doing with our partners, and our desire is to promote integrity and reduce corruption in Nigeria. My name is Okiri Agbonsuremi.